Satnam, Cosmic Empath, and welcome to You or the Universe podcast. I'm Victoria Haffer, a galactic soul guide, light code activator, and holistic alchemist for both humans and animals. My mission is to awaken the harmonic remembrance within you, the part of yourself that knows you are more than your body, more than your mind, and deeply connected to the web of life, the cosmos, and all sentient beings. Here we explore the unseen energies, the wisdom of the stars, and the sacred connection between humans, animals, and the universe itself. Together, we unlock frequencies that help you remember your divine light, your unique gifts, and your soul's divine purpose. So if you're ready to remember who you truly are, open your heart and your body and your field. Let's journey into the universe together. Today's topic is healing the shame that binds you. How the frequency of shame hijacks money, love, the body, and sovereign divinity. There is a frequency that controls more lives than fear. It doesn't shout. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't even feel dramatic. It lives quietly beneath anxiety, beneath your overthinking, beneath perfectionism and self-doubt. That frequency is, drum roll please, shame. Not guilt, not accountability, but shame. Shame is the belief that something is wrong with who you are, not what you did. And if you are indeed a cosmic empath, if you are a starseed soul, if you've always felt different, sensitive, perceptive, or too much, then shame wasn't just something you experienced. It became something you learned in order to survive. Today, we're going to talk about what shame actually is energetically, where it comes from, especially for starseeds, how it controls money, relationships, in the body, how it disguises itself as addiction and self-sabotage, and so much more. Because shame is not your truth. It is a frequency you were taught to carry, often, from our parents, from our. It can sit in the soul, in the genes, in your DNA, inherited for many lifetimes. Shame is a low coherence identity frequency that actually collapses the nervous system. Fear says something bad might happen. Shame says, I am bad. Energetically, shame communicates it's not safe to be seen, to take up space, to need anything or anyone. It's not safe to feel. It pulls energy out of the body, pulls energy out of pleasure, out of presence, out of receiving. And this is so important. Shame is not an emotion. It is a state of self-abandonment. Let me say that again. Shame is not an emotion. It is a state of self-abandonment. Once shame is installed into the hard drive of your being, it quietly begins running your choices without your conscious consent. Shame hides in behaviors we normalize. Shame sounds like this. I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to make waves. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'll just handle it myself. Well, other people need it more than I do. Who am I to take up that much space? Shame looks like over-explaining yourself, apologizing for everything, staying silent when something doesn't feel right, delaying your work, your voice, your visibility, minimizing your pain because others had it worse, not charging enough for your services. Shame can feel like tightness in the chest when you're being seen, dropping energy in the belly when you receive, wanting to disappear after being visible, guilt for resting or even enjoying yourself. And one of shame's favorite disguises, it masquerades as humility, spiritual bypassing, and self-awareness. But the truth is, true humility doesn't make you smaller. True spirituality does not disconnect you from your body and being joyful. True awareness doesn't punish you for being human. Shame almost never starts with you. For many cosmic empaths and starseeds, it began early because you were emotionally parentified. You were more intuitive than your caregivers, more intelligent often. You absorbed others' emotions and were blamed for them. Love was conditional for you. Your sensitivity was labeled as too much. Anybody resonating with any of this? Yeah. You learned to adapt instead of rebel, to shrink instead of disrupt, to disappear in order to stay connected. And starseed souls often carry an added layer. You came in open, unarmored, and highly attuned. That openness made you more vulnerable to internalizing dysfunction. Big breath in, big breath out. So shame became a survival strategy, the shame game. Not because you were weak, but because you were wired for connection. I want to be brutally honest here, because this isn't theory for me. Shame has been one of the most influential frequencies in my life. It's played a massive role in my history with addiction, including an eating disorder, compulsive spending, love and sex, and most importantly, constantly looking outside of myself for validation and acceptance. The eating disorder was never about food. It was about control, about numbing, about trying to disappear from me, myself, my own body. Shame told me that I was wrong, that my body was a problem. If only I could fix myself, then I would be lovable. So I tried to manage my worth through my body, spending work the same way. You know, that next ding, the shopping, spending all the time in the malls. This is when I was a lot younger. Overspending wasn't about money. It was about chasing relief, trying to feel something, proving I was worthy of beautiful things, while simultaneously punishing myself for wanting them. And the love and sex addiction, that was shame wearing a romantic mask. I outsourced my worth to relationships, to men. I searched for safety and belonging in another person because shame had convinced me it didn't live inside of me. I wasn't asking, do I love myself here? I was asking, do I have the right to take up space? That is what shame does. It keeps you seeking permission to exist. Shame always seeks the anesthesia, the numbing. Addiction isn't about pleasure, it's about relief from disconnection. Shame fuels emotional eating, overspending, substances, scrolling, workaholism, spiritual bypassing, chronic self-improvement. Yeah, let's pause there. That one more course, that one more book that I'm going to read, that one more training, to fix myself. Because shame cannot be present with itself. And here's the paradox. Shame hides behind the self-sabotage. Every time you get close to the success, the winning, the intimacy, the visibility, your soul mission, shame pulls the emergency brake. Not because you don't want it, not because you're nervous, but because your nervous system learned that being seen was unsafe. And this can, relate to the witch wound, the persecution wound, which I've done a podcast on that as well, if you want to check that out. The core lie beneath shame is this. Are you listening? That you are separate from source. You are separate from Sophia Christ consciousness, from the divine intelligence, from love itself. This lie keeps humanity feeling unlovable, unsupported, undeserving, super small, and ultimately disconnected from self, from the divine consciousness, from the, all that is. When you believe you are separate from source, you believe you must earn your right to be here. Shame, the frequency of shame, feeds on this illusion. But Sophia Christ consciousness was never meant to bypass the body. It was never meant to float above the human. You know, us being spiritual beings in a human body, right? The meat sack, as they say. You are the divine. Shame disconnects you from source by disconnecting you from embodiment. Shame primarily distorts, you know, the majority of the chakras, but let's just say for the root chakra, safety, money, belonging, your sacral chakra, pleasure, creativity, sexuality, receiving channels, your solar plexus, self-trust, boundaries, your authority, your sovereignty, throat chakra, truth, your voice, your creative expression. Shame collapses energy inward and downward. So also, if you might have a history of feeling suppressed or depression, right? Just that heavy energy or that feeling, this is connected to this as well. Healing, true healing is about restoring flow, not fixing yourself. So here are a few things. I mean, of course, this is the work that I do with my clients, with my students. But here are some things to ponder, an invitation for you to play with if you're feeling like you're resonating with this information. Number one, name shame without judgment. This is shame, not truth. Naming it interrupts the frequency of it. So again, be awareness, become the compassionate witness without judgment. Number two, shift the question from what is wrong with me to what happened to me, right? So being in the awareness. Remember, awareness is the first step, but awareness doesn't equal transformation. So what are you going to do with that? What happened to me? And then sit with it. Sit with your inner child, your inner teen, you know, whatever aspects of you need your support, love, and love, unconditional love. Number three, bring shame into the body gently. Hand on heart and belly or belly, slow breath, no story. Presence dissolves shame. Be with it. Have tea with it. It's not this terrible thing to kill. Remember, what you resist persists. So what if you were to just take some time with this part of you, shed some light on it, and be with it? Number four, practice receiving. That's a whole other podcast, opening up your receiving channels, but this is a huge part of it. How do you accept compliments? If someone says something to you nice, can you just say, thank you? Can you receive it? Allow support, ask for help. Receive pleasure without feeling like you have to earn it. Right? Someone gives you something. Do you feel like you have to give something back to them? Receiving retrains your sovereignty. Number five, speak what was never safe to say. This is a game changer. I have all my clients do this out loud, in private, with honesty. Your voice breaks shame. Whether you need to speak it into a recorder or write a letter that never gets sent, gets burned in ritual, I invite you to do it. Number 6, reclaim your right to take up space. Say daily, I am allowed to exist. I am allowed to take up space. My body is not an obstacle to divinity. I do not need permission to be here. Let resistance arise. That is shame loosening. Shame told us we were separate, that love lived somewhere outside of us, that we had to earn our place in the world. But that, my darling, was never true. You are not disconnected from source. You are not unworthy of space. You are not broken for needing love. You are love, remembering itself through the body. And the moment you stop outsourcing your worth, the moment you return home to yourself, shame begins to dissolve. Not because you fixed yourself, but because you finally stopped abandoning yourself. You belong here, in your body, in your life, in your work, in your truth. Let that land. And remember, every step you take in awareness, every moment you move with intention, and every time you honor your connection with yourself, your animal companions, and our beloved Gaia, you are activating your harmonic remembrance, remembering that you are a radiant being of the universe. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, leave a review, and share this podcast with someone who you know needs to hear this message today. And if you'd like to dive deeper, explore my sacred offerings on victoriahalfer.com. Until next time, Cosmic Starseed, remember, you are the universe.